Morning everybody, it's David from Po Run, and today I'm prepping for our grout fill or our wall fill tomorrow. So we have about 3.5 yards of concrete we need to mix and pour to fill the remaining block walls in our barn build. And I just need to go through and prep where all my SSTB bolts are going to go. Those are for our hold downs for our post frame part of it, and just make sure that I got everything ready to go. Make sure I have all my rebar in place, because there are some requirements for the SSTBs to make sure you have rebar right next to them, etc., or within one cell. So I'm just going to go through and make sure that's all done, make sure we're ready to go. Yesterday I had gone and picked up sand, and I got, well, it was soaking wet, but I got about, I'm gonna guess about 3,500 pounds or 3,000 pounds of sand, and I got almost 3,000 pounds of number 57. I'm gonna mix 57 with some number 8 back in the back, and the number 8 is just a lot smaller. It's going to flow a little bit easier. We're going to mix this around 35 or 3,000 psi, so it's going to have a little more sand to rock ratio, so we should be good for a pour tomorrow. Later on, I've got to go pick up, later on today, I've got to go pick up our cement, and I'm going to need probably about 23 bags to do this whole pour. We can't do that in one day because we've tried, and we can usually do up to about 13 bags, and that meant, you know, working till about 6-7 o'clock at night. It was not exactly fun. So we're not going to do that today, or I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. We're going to split this pour into at least 2 different pours. Again, we've got our bottom wall to fill down here. That's what we're going to start with. We have our middle wall is going to need to be filled, so we're going to add to that. And then I've got about 11 feet up at the top. Basically this whole corner's got to get filled. So that's a 7-course wall. This is a 5-course wall, so we should be good to go. But I'm pretty sure I can do at least, you know, one in change in one pour. So we'll see what we got. So anyway, stick around. I'm going to go over some details about where I put these bolts. Thanks for tuning in, and if you like any of this content or want to see the rest of our barn build, please hit that subscribe button so you can see our updates. This is going to start going quite a bit faster, but faster from one guy building a barn, so it's not going to exactly be like you know, a Perkins or a, you know, build show production. So stay tuned, and thanks again for tuning in. Okay, I made you guys a little mock-up here of what these columns are going to look like and how this post frame part is going to be set up. So this is my my hold down plate. These are HTT4s, and they are structurally rated along with my SSTBs to hold down the weight and the wind load and whatever else I've tried to calculate to make this logical. I'm going to do a 4-ply built-up column out of 2x6s. Yes, these are 2x4s. It's going to be made out of 2x6s. There's going to be a 2x6 sill plate. The sill plate is going to be sealed up with some Lexol, and then around the edges, obviously I'm going to have my strips that are basically going to be for holding up my siding. So the bottom part is, at this moment, is not going to get a sheathing on it. It's because this is the barn part of it. It's going to basically just get some siding that's going to put on it. Again, board and batten for all that. So what I need to do is I need to hold off my edge, so I have just a little bit of gap down here so I can actually seal this edge up on the front and the back. And I have my 4-ply column, and my 4-ply column is then going to obviously be connected with my HTT4, and I just need to figure out approximately where this bolt is going to go. So I'm going to mark this right here because it's going to help me for later, and I can then measure and figure out where I can put my bolt. If my bolt is going to go in the first void, or it's going to go in the second void here in the corner. So just stay tuned. I'm going to go through that. Once I get that all configured and figured out, I'm going to move down to the opposite end, do the same thing, and then I can figure out where my other posts are going to go. And those are basically going to just be divided out between the spacing, and they're going to be somewhere around or under 9 feet, which, based on my beams that I'm going to be building, I have plenty of room for error as far as structural goes. So hold on just a second, and we're going to go through and measure this all out. All right, so I got all my SSTBs in place, and just basically divided the wall into quarters and placed them approximately where they would be. And then I have my J-bolts, which are going to go in every quote-unquote 4 feet, but obviously if I have an SSTB, that's going to be my hold down, so I'm not putting one there. Pretty straightforward, not a big deal. And I think we're ready to go. The J-bolts don't have to go in the exact cell that they're placed on, or the SSTBs pretty much have to go where they're being placed, plus or minus, you know, an inch in one direction or the other. So we'll just have to figure that out in case it becomes a problem. Wherever you have an SSTB, you must have a vertical rebar in the cell next to it. And the exception is the end. And over here at the end, I just happen to get lucky. My SSTB is actually going in where my rebar is. I'm going to put another piece in, so that means I have 2 rebar here in my end wall. I might put a third one in, probably is not needed. Again, I have a bond row in here as well. Let's not forget that. And on my other end, I have the same configuration, except in this case, I have my rebar that was placed when I poured my footer. My SSTB is going in the second cell, and in my third cell, I have another piece of rebar in here. So
how's it going down there?
pretty good. I got all the bolts in place.
Well, that's good.
Yep. up, but you're going to also turn it a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. Yep.
More?
A little more. Good.
Alright, see?
Just walk over there. We're going to do this, but
I don't know either. Just 1 second.
all right, well, unfortunately, we didn't get everything done yesterday that we hoped to, meaning we got done, I always go everything by bags of cement, since we can't say bags of concrete or yards because we don't really know, but we were hoping to go through probably 10-ish bags, and we made through 4.5. It was brutally hot yesterday. We got a late start because we were still trying to set up, and of course there's always problems when you haven't poured concrete in 6 months to remember what you needed to do. So we're hoping we're going to go through 4 to 5 bags today, and then we're going to have 4 to 5 bags for final push, which will be some other time later. The weather's changing, so today and tomorrow really are, or today is our key. It's going to start raining and then get a little cold. So we did pretty good though, in the grand scheme of things. And we did get 2/3 of this wall done. So we got 18 block filled, and we have 8 to go, which isn't terrible. So we're going to do pretty good here. And then we'll move on to the middle row. After we finish these 8, we're going to move up and do the middle row, see how far we get on that. We had some issues yesterday as well, just getting the concrete in the form. You'll see that in the video, or you saw that in the video already. And anyway, so another big day. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching.
Bring your trowel.